I'm giving away $1 million. Are you hooked in yet? Just kidding. I am giving away 250 bucks though. I ain't got that Mr. Beast type money, all right? But something pretty big is about to happen and you don't really want to miss out on that, but more on that later in this video. So today I wanted to give you guys my final EP review of NF's Fear and then quit making videos about it. I feel like I'm milking it. I just really enjoy the album. I love NF a lot, but I wanted to do this a bit differently. A lot of the times my album reviews are just me kind of talking about the album, maybe a couple songs here and there, and then give a final rating. But I wanted to give each song its own individual section and talk about the song and my personal experience with it. And I'm gonna rate the songs in order from my least preferable listen to my most preferable listen. And I would love for you guys to join in the conversation and comment your list down in the comments below. And that's where we can have a lot of the discussion. But also, it's normally just my dumb face here, and I get it. I'm not the best thing to look at for 10 minutes. So I'm gonna try to do some editing on this and make it a little bit flashier for you. But I used to watch a ton of commentary videos back in the day of just random things like the world's deadliest tornadoes and why the new Call of Duty sucks. And it would always be somebody like up in the corner or not even their face sometimes. And the video itself is them just playing some random game that has absolutely nothing to do with the video at all. But for whatever reason, that just stimulated my brain and made it way easier to focus on the words that were being said. So I wanted to try that with this video with one of the games that I normally play off screen anyway, and just kind of see how it goes. And they've sponsored me in the past, so this could be a win-win situation for all of us. So yeah, the background's just gonna be a casual day on Raid for me. So earlier I said I was going to give away 250 bucks. Here's how you can get it. I have a clan in Raid, and I just kicked out a ton of people that were in my clan that hadn't played in a long time, and I need some people to come help me out. So I'm going to give away 10 bucks to the first 25 people that download the game using my link or scanning the QR code on the screen, and then come join my clan. And I can see who joins my clan, so you can't fake this, all right? But please try to screen record or something the process of you doing this so I can make sure the right person gets the right money. And I've only got 25 spots left. But all this is inspired from Raid because they also like to just randomly give away a lot of things. So not only will you get 10 bucks from me from downloading the game if you're one of the first 25, if you're anybody that downloads the game and has never played it before, you're gonna get a huge starter pack with the epic champion Drake from the Lizard faction. But also, once you reach level 15 in the game, which shouldn't take you too long, you'll get the epic champion Tagoar, and new players get to pick from one of 6 legendary champions that you'll get for free right out the gate. All you gotta do is put in one of the promo codes I'm about to tell you about. There's a Green Warden Ruark with promo code TREEHUGGER, Alice the Wanderer with promo code GETALICE, Tuhanarok with promo code DESERTQUEEN, Sun Wukong MONKEYKING with promo code MONKEYKING, Thalin Foulbeard with promo code DEMONSLAYER, and my personal favorite, the one that I think you should go for, is Ultimate Death Knight with promo code UDKING. And make sure you put in one of these promo codes within the first 48 hours, because if you don't, you lose the champion. But also earlier I mentioned that something big was coming, and that thing is, I don't know, honestly. They won't tell me. Raid's being super secretive and sneaky right now. All I know is that it's a very widely known IP based on an iconic franchise, and that there will be a new free legendary champion involved. And so by the time this video comes out, there will be an additional legendary champion that you're going to get for free. But yeah, download the game with my link only or the QR code on the screen. You get all that fun goodies, and 10 bucks to the first 25 people that come join my clan with my download link or the QR code. Let's talk about this EP. Fear has definitely been an extremely unique project from NF, especially from a listener standpoint. I talked about this in a video reaction that I made a couple days ago, that I had to give myself a break from listening to this, and that's why the videos have been kind of so spread out about this instead of, you know, video after video after video like I had planned. This video was supposed to come out almost a week ago, but this EP is full of so much inner torment and inner struggles and sadness and darkness and fear and all of these emotions that it started to latch on to me, and I did not want that to happen because I've done a very, very good job over the last few months of pulling myself out of that space, because I was in that space for a very long time. Got a lot closer in my own faith, got a lot closer in just a lot of aspects in my life that I needed to get closer in. And so when I first heard this EP and I started reacting to a lot of songs on this, it started to put me back in a lot of those mind spaces that I had gotten out of. And that is no fault to NF at all, because from one artist to another, I completely understand this entire EP, and I think it is beautiful. Beautifully tragic is a word that I used to describe it a lot during these reactions. And I know from my own personal experience, making songs like this is so therapeutic as an artist for yourself, because all these horrible thoughts and these negative feelings and everything, they're all trapped inside of your brain and inside of your heart and inside of your soul, and it's just withering away at you. And so to get them out on a song and to put them out into the world, it releases everything. It's like a big balloon that keeps getting inflated, then you put it out and it finally just lets all the air out, and it's just one big sigh of relief. And that to me is what this EP is. It's one big sigh of relief, NF just getting all of this out of it. But there's my general synopsis, all right? So let's get into this ranking list that I got here. Song number 6, and only because there has to be a song at the bottom, hasn't really changed since my initial listen. It's Who I Was with MGK. So big thing for me, MGK's verse was done in one long take, take. And I understand he did it to give it a more raw feel and raw emotional feel, but it does sound a bit sloppy compared to what he can normally do. And it's like one big advice that I always give to artists whenever I react to their music on stream or when I do reactions for people is to not be afraid to cut up your verse, and you don't have to do it all in one big long one take, because sometimes you can kind of peter out on some of the words and they don't hit as hard as they need to. You can kind of hear you running out of breath and everything's just not as strong as it need to be. And I could hear that a lot in this verse. And I know a lot of people, when I was listening to this live, were saying that he didn't even feel like he was on time and he was off beat. And I think this is why a lot of people got that feeling, is because it was a one take and they're used to the punch in sound. And so it sounded a bit sloppy. I still absolutely love the lyrics of the song, especially his verse. MGK acknowledging his Christian faith was awesome. Him addressing all the pain that he's got, losing a friend, losing a potential marriage, just getting really raw with his feelings. I really enjoy that. Now, when it comes to NF's parts on this, the high-pitched singing that he does, it's become synonymous with his sound. He's done it in several tracks, but this one just sounded different. And I don't know if it's because Tommy didn't produce this album, so it's not the same plugins, but it doesn't sound quite as natural as it usually does, this high-pitched sound. People always call it like the chipmunk sound is what I'm talking about, but it was almost like too squeaky. It's hard to really describe. It was just different, and I think you guys might understand what I'm talking about. And the thing is that I can tell it sounds really good, like he's hitting his notes and his singing is really good on that. I would have preferred it just to be his normal voice, I think. I feel like it would have carried a lot more impact. There was also a couple of different production choices that I just wasn't the biggest fan of on this one. It just took me out of the moment a bit. There was some beat stutters and just some loud onomatopoeia noises randomly, some loud screams, and then just sudden stops. Even the doubles on his verse were like super reverbed out, and then they would just immediately cut and you could hear the cut. And I don't know if that's just from where I record my own music and like I know the process of what happened there, and that they just cut off the empty space, and like it's just very noticeable for me. But again, NF's lyrics were great on this. His singing was very good on this. I love the singing throughout this whole EP. And the song's not quite as relatable to me because I'm not a parent. I'm a dog parent, I guess. But addressing the struggles that you can have as a parent and trying to be the best person that you can for your children and forgetting about a lot of your old ways, I think it's a powerful message for sure. But like I said, there had to be a song down at the bottom, and I really had to nitpick to try to give an excuse as to why this is at the bottom. It's still a great sounding song. It's still at least like a 7 out of 10 for me. Song number 5, probably the most relatable one to me as an artist, but probably one of the least replayable as a song for everybody else, is Washed Up. The music video for this was absolutely nuts, by the way. Both music videos for this EP were nuts. But just that never-ending feeling as an artist, worrying, like, are you done? Is your career over? Is your next song going to be bigger than your last one? Is it going to be worse? Is it a downward spiraling trend? Are your best days behind you? Just that constant back and forth is so relatable, man. It's very stressful not knowing if you're falling off. Are you getting better? There's a common picture of two guys burrowing underground towards a diamond mine. I'm sure I can find the picture somewhere. But one guy gives up right before he gets to the mine of diamonds because he's just been digging and it's nothing but dirt for so long. And so he turns around and goes away, but the guy above him is still hungry and still hunting for it. He's going to get the diamond because he's just going to keep going. And that's what this song reminds me of. Am I on the verge of something great, or are my best days behind me? I love that there's more Christian references in this and him being a lot more open about it, saying that he is nothing without the Father. He's nothing without his faith. And I also love that he touches on something that I think about all the time, especially when I see these new huge contracts happening for MLB players and basketball players, football players, everybody, even coaches, is that when people finally get this big contract, this lifetime guaranteed contract of $400 million, it's like, all right, well, I guess I don't have anything to work for anymore. I don't have to work as hard, so I'm just going to chill out now. And he mentions that by saying, is the check that the label just gave me what's making me uninspired? I'm a huge Kentucky basketball fan. We just went through this. They signed John Calipari to a lifetime contract, and 2 years later, he was gone because he just started sucking. Don't give lifetime contracts. I actually don't think there should be any multi-year contracts. I think contracts should be done yearly, and it should all be performance-based. Then everybody will be trying their hardest. I think everybody should make league minimum, and then you get paid based off your performance. There we go. But yeah, anyway, this song, great from another artist perspective, because we all have that exact same worry. It's the noose that we inevitably climb in the game, as he said, because everybody worries once you hit the top of your game, how hard is that fall gonna suck? It's just a great paradigm. Song number 4, and this is where the ranking just starts to get impossible for me, because Sorry is objectively a very good song. I think this is very clearly the radio song for the EP, and I'm sure you're gonna hear it in all sorts of public spaces. And NF gets in like his upper register in this. I was pretty impressed with the singing on this one specifically, because he's hitting some notes I hadn't heard him hit before. And it's just really cool to see him get comfortable with this singing bag. And I know he had tweeted in the past where he wanted to make a vibe EP. He wanted to sing a little bit more. And this whole EP is definitely him testing the waters to see how people respond to that. And obviously relationship songs, those are the ones that are going to get the most plays because everybody has troubles with relationships. And this song definitely dives into just the typical trials that you see in a relationship. Also, James Arthur. Wow. great surprise there. I knew he was gonna sound really good, but dude, their back and forth that they did at the end, both of them just wailing out some notes. It was very, very nice. Was kind of worried that James might try to outshine NF because James is like strictly a singer and NF can sing and rap. NF definitely held his own. Absolutely held his own, and they sounded so beautiful together at the end. But in the end, I typically tend to gravitate away from radio sounding songs. I guess it's just the inner independent artist in me. So that's why this one ends up at number 4. Now on to my top 3. Song number 3, and this is very hard to pick, but I'm gonna have to go with Give Me a Reason. Now this is definitely the most replayable song for me on this because the hype is real. It's probably my favorite hype track from NF, and maybe that's recency bias, maybe not. Maybe I just really love the song, but I think this is an incredible song. It's super hype, super energetic. The rhyme schemes are just, chef's kiss. There doesn't feel like any kind of wastefulness. This is the confidence that he has, and at this point in the album, this is definitely the song like, all right, I've been singing, I've been talking about some really dark stuff. Let me show you guys, I can still rap, I still got this. I'm actually very good at it still. I'm getting bored with it, actually. I'm very good at it, then I'm almost too good. But the beat on this just presents the most rideable beat I've ever heard. It's just so easy to float on tracks like this. It's a beat that I heard that made me want to do a remix. That's how you know it's a good beat. I don't like doing a lot of remixes, but that one, and for an NF song that wasn't produced by Tommy Prophet, this absolutely stands the test of time and stands up against all the other braggadocious style of tracks. I did see a lot of Joyner Lucas comments on this saying it sounded like something that Joyner would make, and I can 100% see that, but I think it's honestly because of the beat. Like, this beat presents that style of flow and that style of lyricism, and I know for a fact that he wasn't going into this thing like, all right, let me, what would Joyner do on this? Let me sound like Joyner. No, actually, I'm probably sure he was actively trying to avoid sounding like anybody else. Most artists are like that, because I know from my experience, I'm never going into a track like, all right, let me see if I can sound like NF today or Joyner today or Hobson today. No, I rap how the beat presents itself, and I'm sure that's exactly what he did on this too. But yeah, definitely the most replayable track for me. Makes me want to get back in the gym and just go ham. Actually, I'm going to because of this song. There you go, NF, you did it. And now my final 2 songs, and very, very difficult to pick. But song number 2, I'm gonna go with Home, and my favorite track off the EP's got to be Fear. Let me back it up. So Home, wow, what an awesome, incredible, heartbreaking song, man. This song, it just absolutely breaks me, especially because a lot of you guys know how close I was with my grandmother. So there's so many relatable things that I heard in this that just, it put me back in that mind space too. Again, why I had to take a break from listening to this EP. A very beautiful, honorable track about his grandmother, and I hear the pain in his voice, and just everything, man, is something that I relate to. I sang about a lot of similar things on my song Sundays with Grandma, and him touching on just random, seemingly insignificant memories that he's had throughout his life, like just going to play cards with her randomly or growing up playing outside in the front yard. Those insignificant memories now have turned into some of the most powerful, amazing memories that he can have. And when I sang about it, mine was going to have lunch with her on Sundays, because that was our thing. I would just go have lunch with her on Sunday before I went back to college. And at the time, it's like, yeah, it's just typical going to eat lunch with my grandma. But now it's just like, man, I hold on to that memory for the rest of my life. And for him, it's going to play cards with her or calling her or leaving her a voicemail. Another one of mine is she used to call me all the time about fixing the TV remote. And again, they just seem like insignificant memories at the time, but now it's just like, man, that's some stuff that I really enjoy. Whew. Even talking about this song, it gets me going, man. And then in this song, man, it's almost what makes me cry. Him saying that he's going to continue to carry on the tradition to pretend that she's still here and call and leave a voicemail. It's a sore spot. I mean, it's coming up on 7 years since my grandmother passed away, and it's still so fresh. But just the overall message of this song and the religious aspect to it of, you're not gone, you just found a new place to call home. Heaven awaits us, baby. And I love that message, man. And that was like the one downside of reacting to this EP live, is that when this song came on, I wasn't really able to sit down and soak it in properly, because I had thousands of people in here and I was trying to interact with everybody and make sure everything was still running good. But when I had the time to sit down and just soak this in and listen to it, it sunk hard. And finally, we'll talk about Fear. I mean, I kind of went ad nauseum about this in the Fear reaction video, but I'm still kind of in awe of this song. This feels like an anchorable song to a whole album, not just an EP. I put it up there with Hope and The Search and Mansion. Like, these are like key anchorable songs around an entire project, especially when you talk about the lore of NF and his entire story from his discography. There's so many little hidden nuggets and callbacks in this song. He referenced Running, he referenced Mansion, and it just latches onto a lot of the heartstrings from an NF fan, and just seeing the progress that he's made throughout his story, because Hope was such an amazing move forward for him, and then this whole album has been one huge step back emotionally. Not saying that like sonically or anything like that. I'm just talking about pure emotion wise, because this whole album is a big relapse album pretty much. Even talks about it in this song where he said he thought he finally found a breakthrough, but he went back to running after he said he wasn't going to run anymore. And again, that music video, man, and just, is this what you wanted? Like, that is just stuck in my head. head. Him being caught on fire, I saw a bunch of videos floating around, and I think it was a stuntman, but the guy did kind of look like him. Just the behind the scenes videos of all this have been really cool too. But I think a lot of us can relate to this relapse, telling yourself that you're done doing something that you don't need to be doing, and then you fall back into it, and you just feel so shameful and guilty. Just a ton of relatable stuff in this. He mentioned his grandmother in this one, and that was a huge anchoring point of why he has all these feelings again now. He lost his grandma, so what's the point? He lost his faith, he lost his hope, he lost everything after she left. And again, if you know me and know my backstory, I went through a huge moment myself. A lot of my dark, painful music is anchored around the death of my grandmother and how I felt afterward. And so this one just, it's got a soft spot for me, man. And I love that he's acknowledging his own faults as his mansion's burning down and he's holding the gas can, but he's asking God, are you the one doing this? Did you light my mansion on fire? Why did you do this? It's just the beautiful hypocrisy of it. Like, he's the one ruining his life and burning his life down, but he's looking for somebody to blame. And a lot of people turn to God for the blame. I think it's very poetic. And I love this song, and I really enjoyed this EP. It's just very hard for me to listen to over and over again. Final ranking I gave this EP, it's so hard for me to rank. I gave it an 8.3 out of 10, and I'm sure that's going to increase and jump more and more over time. I think without the MGK song, this would be like mid-9s for me. Like, it would be way up there. But as far as re-listenability, there's one song on this that I can listen to over and over again. The rest of them, it's like once a week, maybe. But sonically, very pretty sounding. Love this. I definitely miss Tommy's production on this EP, but songs that give me a reason definitely give hope to the idea that he will be okay if he doesn't come back. But from a friendship standpoint and just from a Christian standpoint and everything, I genuinely hope that friendship and that relationship can be mended. And even if nothing happened, I just hope that relationship can be established once again, because they made some bangers, all right? It's nice to have that 1-2 punch as a producer and artist. But thank you so much for watching this. Again, I want to see your guys' list down there below. You don't have to do your explanations like I did, but I want to see your list. Let's talk about them. And again, download Raid, please. Helps me out a ton. $10 to the first 25 people that download the game using my link and come join my clan. Plus, you get all those goodies that I talked about. So many different things that they're giving you guys. And it's a game that I actually play, all right? I'm not just shelling out for the coin. If I wanted to do that, I'd be on here showing you guys some cryptocurrencies and NFTs and crap like that. I don't do that. Shout out to everybody that you see on the screen. These are my Patreon members. They got this video early, and it's edited a lot different for them over there. Would love for you to come support me and join me over there if you wish. Get a lot of behind the scenes stuff, some extra access, early access to every video, your names at the end. But all right, that's it. Love you guys. Love this EP. I'll see you in the next video. I know the way I'm living ain't been right for my soul. So please, Lord, won't you help me? The flames are closer than ever, feels like I'm melting.